Isn't this a special time of year? No, seriously, apparently it's something called Lent. And Lent is preceded by Shrove Tuesday, where you get pancakes, which is kind of cool. And you also might get a big street party with girls in sequin bikinis. It's called Mardi Gras or thereabouts. Then after that, there comes this kind of downer where you're meant to put ash on your forehead and give things up. And thought maybe I'd try giving up self-control, but my online research indicates that it doesn't quite work that way. My online research indicates some other odd things about Lent too, like there are weird customs in places like Canada. For instance, in Newfoundland, evidently one of the Shrove Tuesday things is that they bake small objects into pancakes and kids have fun finding them and guessing what their future will be. Like if you find a nail in your pancake, apparently you're either going to be a carpenter or marry a carpenter. Now, my guess is that if you find a nail in your pancake, you're going to need a dentist. But perhaps I'm missing the point. And apparently in this, I may not be entirely alone. It's not immediately obvious from those big-headed costumes in Mardi Gras parades, whose technical name, I gather, is big-headed costumes in Mardi Gras parades, or from the girls with feathers, which are often a surprisingly complete description of their outfit. But I digress. But the word carnival, so many of these parades and celebrations are carnival, comes from carne lavare, to take away meat, because you're winding up for 40 days of, if not right out fasting, certainly abstinence from various pleasures, including meat. What's also not obvious, Wikipedia says there are many relics of Lenten culture in Canada and other places, but I don't see a whole lot of them around me here. But the festival actually has Christian origins. And after you have eaten well, you then deprive yourself. It's meant to go for 40 days to remind you of Christ fasting in the desert for 40 days while being tempted by the devil, and the ashes are the ashes to ashes, dust to dust bit. Now, I don't think any church actually suggests that you go completely without food for 40 days. That'd be a little bit much. But apparently in olden days, it was rather more austere. You didn't just give up meat. You gave up any kind of rich food. In the unlikely event that you had any rich food. I mean, in peasant societies, which is a term here meaning places without refrigeration, the odds were if you had any meat left in February, you better get rid of it quickly because it was about to go off. And anthropologists may tell us, well, it was just one of those adaptive customs. Since you're going to be hungry anyway, you might as well feel that you're doing it for God instead of just sitting there feeling unhappy. But I think that there is, in fact, rather more to it than that. And the way in which we're still running off the fumes of this prompts a little bit of thought. I should mention, for those of you who, like me, aren't terribly familiar with it, that although Lent is 40 days of fasting, it lasts over 46 days, 6 of which are Sundays, where you don't have to be quite as grim. But still, you're meant to be thinking about the transience of human life, the fact of human mortality, and various other things along those lines. The idea with Lent is that you give up something you value. You don't give up something you don't care about anyway. You certainly don't do the politician thing and give up something somebody else values. You know how they always want to quit smoking for us or something like that, or give up those big cups of pop that we want and they don't. You're meant to give up something that you value, because you're not meant to go around thinking you're so great you should just bathe in hedonistic pleasures. You're meant to realize, hey, maybe I'm not so wonderful after all. Maybe I should think about ways that I can be better, not I'm so marvelous, I definitely ought to have a big piece of cake right now. And who knows, it might be worth a try. Maybe if we did shut out our desires and our ego, he would hear a small, still voice. Or perhaps just our tummy rumbling for pancakes. But like I say, it is, I think, worth a try.